Hey, so I started reading this book, Believing Me by Dr. Ingrid Clayton. And in chapter 4, she starts telling a story about how she wrote a report in middle school. And while everyone else was writing about snowboarding and fun topics, her topic was about alcoholism, the family disease. And on this page that I have dog-eared, boy, I couldn't even get past this because it impacted me as I read it. I'll read the thing so the teacher calls her after school to talk to her about her report. And it starts with, I responded candidly and watched as she closed her eyes for longer than felt comfortable, slowly nodding her head. She indicated that she admired my bravery, the maturity I must have possessed to write such a topic. While that may have been true, I felt disappointed that her focus was on my resilience rather than my family. I didn't want praise for surviving. I wanted something to change. Neither of us had anything else to say, so I scooped up the paper and went to my next class. When I read that word changed, I reminisced back on the decades of my life that I've lived and the relationships that I've had. And I always expected something to change. I wanted to change this. I wanted to change that. I wanted them to change. I needed them to change in order to da-da-da-da-da-da. That thought was ingrained in childhood because of complex trauma. Children understand and know that something isn't right. They just don't know how it should be right and how it should be. It's too painful for them to process. So they hang on to the sensation and the feeling that something isn't right. Unfortunately, children are born very egotistic. Everything is about them. And so they make all of the problems of the family their fault. I am bad. I'm not good enough. I'm unlovable. There must be something wrong with me. I have to be perfect in order to be loved. All of these beliefs are ingrained in childhood. Okay? Something needs to change. Unfortunately, all of those beliefs, because they're formed in childhood, stick with us into adulthood, and we remain victims of circumstance, of our life choices, because we make it someone else's responsibility, somebody else's fault, and trying to make someone else accountable for what needs to change, when really the internal change needs to happen. You have to work on your own core wounds. You have to work on your own boundaries. You have to work on all of these things because you're the only one who has lived every single second of your life to know how and what needs to change. Nobody else can do it for you. You need to move from powerlessness, the victim mode, that rightfully was adopted in childhood because you were victimized, okay? That is true. Believe you. Believe your story. But now as an adult, you get to take back your power and you get to change that story, and you no longer need to remain a victim. You have the power, you have the control to be able to change those thoughts, to be able to change those beliefs, and to be able to change your relationships forever. Please reach out. www.htwcllc.com. You can find me on all social media platforms. And please follow all of the social media platforms: YouTube, LinkedIn, X, Instagram, Facebook, for updates on the new classes that I'm putting out. I'm developing a codependency class. I just wrapped up the Relationship Tools Bootcamp class, which is essential to take to start working on all of these issues. If you need help, if you want help, if you are supposing that someone else needs to change, well, why don't you schedule a free call and we'll see how you can change so that you can take your power back, so you can stop being victimized and stop victimizing others, because that is the ugly truth. As you choose to remain in the victim mode, you will victimize others by the abuse that you will institute on them by not accepting them for who they are and actually moving away and instituting boundaries to keep yourself safe. It is no one else's responsibility. It can only be yours, because you are the only one that can change you, with the right tools and with the right help and with the correct reparenting tools. Please reach out. I am Sarah Eva, your integrated attachment theory coach and complex trauma coach.